Okay, we'll start from the scratch again. Okay, so hope you all know how we are following the approach in this course, right? So first we are going with the manual approach of API testing. Okay, so first we are going with the manual approach of API testing. Then once we are getting a complete hold on the manual approach, I mean to say manual approach means of our postman tool. Okay, so this is a postman tool, the REST API testing. So once we are getting some hold on the subject, okay, so obviously, right, whenever we are working with a tool, that is a bit much easier than whenever we are working with the programming languages. Okay, so that is also very easy. That is not a rocket science. Okay, but first we are learning with our postman. So once we are getting some hold on it, then we are jumping into the automation part. Okay, so this is what the plan. Then after in the automation, after covering all the topics which is related to a REST API testing using REST issue, then we are going to jump into the okay. Okay. So in this course, basically, we are starting from manual part to the automation logic. Okay. So all the three has been combined in the single course. Okay. So this is what the plan. Okay. So next, so as part of the demo, so first we'll start with the very basic concept, that is what is web URL. Okay, you might some of you have already knowledge on API testing or already knowledge on what is web URL, how we can access the web application, what are the parameters we need to consider while we are working with the API testing or while we are working with the application. Maybe you might have know, some of you know already all this basic details. Okay, and also some of you are very new to this concept or very new to this course, and some of you are a fresher who is working before and completely in the manual testing. Now they want to jump into the API or automation. Okay, so we have to take everyone in a single page, correct? So for that reason we are starting from a very basic. Okay, starting from very basic to a going towards the advanced. Okay, so while I'm going through these concepts, maybe you feel bored or you feel like this already, you guys already know it. But please bear with at least 2 to 3 days. Okay, we'll cover all the basics, which is comes under and which is very important before jumping into the API testing. So then we will start with the other topics. Okay. So now, so web URL. See, without the URL, API testing is not possible, right? Because all about URL only. When we are performing the API testing, the URL what we need to consider. With the help of the URL that we are receiving from the developer, we are going to perform the testing. Okay. So what is this URL? Okay. So what is this URL? Web Uniform Resource Location. So uniquely identify the specific web resource inside the web application. Okay. So uniquely identify the specific web resource inside the web application. So what is this web application? So consider this is an application. You can take any real-time example like Facebook, WhatsApp. Okay. So inside the face, yes.
Your screen is not visible.
Mm, okay. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So first we will learn about what is web URL. Okay. Maybe this is very basic concept, but sometimes we miss to answer the basic concepts. Okay, so we are covering all the basic things, then only we're jumping into the next part. Okay, because we need to take everyone in a single page who knows something, who doesn't know anything, and who is very new to this, and who is jumping from manual to automation or manual to API testing. Everyone we have to take in a single page. Okay, so we are starting from the very basic concept, that is starting with the web URL. Okay, so web URL definition is it identifies the specific web resources inside the web application. Okay, so consider this is the application. Inside the application, we will be having a many options, right? So we will be having a home, about, contacts, services, etc. If you take in a Facebook, you have a profile, and you have a photos, you have settings, and you have some other options will also be there, right? Okay, whatever the different functionality we can see inside the application, that is nothing but we can call it as a with respect to a functional terminology, we can call it as a future. With respect to a functional terminology, we can also call it as a modules. Okay, and with respect to API terminology, we are calling it as a resource. See, in this application, this home is one resource, this about is one resource, this contact is one resource, this service is one resource. Okay, so every application should have its unique address in the form of a URL. Okay, so means for each and every application, we will be having a unique address. Okay, for example, whenever if we want to launch the Facebook, so we are giving its unique address. That's why it is going. See, inside the network, we have a plenty of application. We have a Facebook, we have a Instagram, we have a WhatsApp, we have a Twitter, we have a what is that? Some other applications are there, no? So all the application we have a LinkedIn, etc., etc. Okay, so you can just think about it, how it's going to whenever we are giving something, how it's searching a particular application, because each and every application has its own address. So whenever giving that address, it has to point to the particular application. Okay, so then URL is the only one way to access the web application via browser. Okay, so if you want to work with a browser, if you want to launch any of the application in the browser, URL is the only one way that you can access your application, and maximum number of characters in the URL is 200. Okay, so this is all they may ask you in the interview. Okay, so maximum number of characters in the URL is 200, which means that, see, whenever you are entering the address, be here you are entering the address, right? See, here you are entering the address. For example, if I overview on this, see, it is one address. See, whatever the address we are having here, okay, so here we have a address, right? Something web zoom daughters. Okay. So this address, it consumes up to a 200 characters. Okay. So apart from the 200 character, if you are giving a one character extra also, server will not take up that address. It will immediately respond saying I am unable to process this request. Okay. So maximum 200 characters of you can provide in the URL in the browser. Okay. Then syntax. Okay, so while we are accessing the web application via browser, okay, we should have a URL. Okay, so that URL should follow some syntax. Okay, for example, see here, we are using like this, right? So http facebook.com. Okay, so this is in a URL. Okay, just assume this is we have like this. Okay, then you can ask me the question saying why it has to be like this only. Why can't it be a Facebook first, then HTTP? Why it has to be like this only? Okay, why can't we write a Facebook first? See, in interview also they will confuse you like this. Okay, Why can't we write like this alone? Okay, so why can't we write? Then okay, let's keep it this here. HTTP has to go. Why I can't write it like this? Can we write like this? Do you think? Can we write like this? What will happen? So you're specifying every information, right? Whatever there in the URL. Okay. I won't follow this syntax. Okay. I will write like this. Will this eat the Facebook? What do you think? What happens? Quick, quick. You can reply in the chat.
404.
Sorry.
In the below URL, it will throw a 404. It is.
Okay. You mean it's not possible to write, you're telling? I mean to
Yes.
say, yeah. So I don't want to write like this. Okay. I'm interested to give my URL like this. So my question is, if I give like this, will this hit the Facebook application? Will it launch the Facebook application? Can I
No.
use like this? No. Okay. Why? Why no? See, all the information, whatever I provided it here, everything is available here. No. Why
Because
it will not?
because firstly it will specify the its HTTP
Mhm.
or HTTPS is the specifiers, and
Okay.
then there will be a domain name. After that there is a path. That is
Okay.
that is what is the syntax of any URL.
Yeah. Good. Good. Yeah. Great. Yeah. Okay. See here. So we have however means whatever the way we need to write like that, it is not possible to write. Okay. So there should be some syntax and rules. Okay. So we have to follow some syntax. Okay. See, browser will not accept even whatever we type will not accept it easily. Okay. So it follows some syntax of the HTTP and HTTPS. Okay, so this is the syntax. What is that syntax? So it is telling that you have to write HTTP protocol at the starting of the request. This protocol, it may be a HTTP or HTTPS, because browser supports only two protocol, that is HTTP and HTTPS. Okay, so if we are using a HTTP and HTTPS, so this is what the syntax we need to follow. So that is what browser is also accepting. Okay. So what is that? So first we need to specify which protocol we are using, whether it is a HTTP or HTTPS. Okay. So then immediately, after the protocol, immediately it has to follow the domain name. Okay. It will search for the domain name. Instead of a domain name, if other information is there, browser immediately, it will throw that a request. Okay, server will also not accept that request. Okay, so domain name we have to specify. So then immediately port number. Then after the port number, resource path. Then after the resource path, we have other information like various string, path parameter, etc. And then fragment ID. Okay, so this is what the syntax we need to follow while we are receiving the URL from the developers also. Okay, developers also has to generate like this only. If they are providing the wrong URL, we have to tell them that no, we have to follow some syntax. This is not according to the syntax, and this will not even work as well. Server will not accept this kind of URL. Okay, so we have to inform them. So now the question is, we have a protocol, we have a domain name, we have a port number, we have a resource path, we have a query string here. Okay, so we have so many parameters here. So in these parameters, what are all the mandatory parameters? What are all the optional parameters is the question. So being a API test engineer, you have to be aware of this kind of things. I mean to say, so you should be very familiar with what are the mandatory parameter, what are the optional parameters, so that if it is a mandatory parameter, must and should you have to give a concentrate on those things, because by having those information only you have to work with the your server. Okay, so for example, if the domain name itself is not there, okay, what happens? If the port number is not there, what happens? If the resource path is not there, what happens? If the query string is there, how it will behave with the service. Okay, so all those things you have to be very familiar. So what happens here? This is the protocol is starting, and this is the domain name. Okay, and this is the port number, and this is the resource path. Okay, so domain name is the mandatory information in your URL. It's like, for example, here, see all the members are there here. Okay. Okay, everyone are available here. If I want to specify someone specifically, I mean to say if I want to ask someone, specifically, I have to call their name, right? Or else, yeah, you tell like that. If I tell means, yeah, you just explain like that. If I tell means, you guys will get confused that for who I'm referring. Correct. If I tell, if I address with your name, yes, Rohan, tell me. Yes, Mrityunjay, right? Yeah, tell me. Yes, no, tell me. Like that, if I address means, so they will get to know that they're pointing me only and they're asking me the question. So like that, you guys will get to know, right? So in the similar way, here, if I not specifying a domain name, okay, my server will get confused. Okay, the URL they are giving, okay, for whom I need to speak then? Because in the network, there are plenty of application deployed. Okay, the plenty of application are there inside the network. Then for whom with whom I need to speak now? What information these people required from me, because they're not specifying the domain name only. Without the domain name, how it's possible to hit the particular application? See, consider this is in a network. Okay, this is in a network. So inside this network we have a plenty of applications. Okay, so we have a plenty of application inside the network here. Okay, so not only here, billions and millions of network are there, right? So like this. So if I want to in this network, we have all the applications deployed. So if I want to speak with a particular application, we have to specify its domain name. Okay. So then domain name is a mandatory information. Port number is a optional information. Okay. It's very optional parameter. It's not like, without this port number, it's not possible to access the resource. It's not like that. Okay. It just, in which address location it is specified. To inform that the port number is included. Okay. So we will talk about later about the port number, but it is optional. You can specify, if you can specify also no issue. If you cannot specify also no issues, no problem. Then resource path. Okay, resource path is all of very optional information because okay, you're entering inside the you're entering to the application, that is fine. After entering to the application, what task you have to perform on the available resource. Okay, that has to be in which on which resource you want to access. Whatever the resource I specify here, the particular URL will go and reach that particular resource here. Okay. So, and query string is nothing but, giving some extra information about the resource. Okay. So, for example, here search field is there. Here search field is there. So, by having a search resource, what we can do, we can search it, right? We can search some products. So, we can search n number of products, there is no issues. Okay. For example, mobile is there. Okay. We have to search a mobile. But in the mobile also, we have some particular brands, right? We have a list of brands. So I don't want to search all the brands because I'm not interested in all those brands. I just, want to search, just take fast track only. Okay. So I want to search a particular brand only. So what I'm giving, we need to handle that request with the query string. Okay. So mobile is equal to, we have to search in such a way that mobile is equal to, or mobile brand is equal to first track. Okay, so like that we need to give a extra information on the resource. Okay, so maybe here we are going to the mobile first. First we are going to the mobile resource, then we are going with the mobile brand. So in the mobile brand, we are passing the query string. Okay, so this is how it works. Query string. So this fragment ID is also completely optional information. This is no one will be using it. Okay, completely optional. This is okay. Then this is some example of the URL. See, I have written here protocol, localhost. Local is nothing but domain name. That is your local system domain name, and port number we have specified, and resource path we specified. Okay, so means it is accessing the index page of the application. So next, okay, now tell me according to this definition, what are all the parameters are there here in this? You can make use of a chart. You can't unmute yourself. Hmm. Quick. Yeah. Hmm. What are the parameters are available here? Okay, just make use of a chat. Hmm. Screen not visible. What are the parameters available in this? We have a protocol, right? We have a we have here, it's a domain name, okay, google.com. See, after the domain name, it is giving some resource path. Okay, so inside this resource path means, for example, let's take this as a google.com. See, it is coming here. So we are telling that go to the search. Okay, from this, it is going and getting to this resource, this search. Okay, okay, what to search? If I give a just a mobile, it will give us the all the mobile. But what I'm giving is I'm giving some query string. Okay, how to identify I'm giving the query string? See, observe carefully. We have a question mark symbol here, right? We have a question mark symbol here, right? So after the question mark symbol, okay, whatever the value we give it in a key value pair. And soon after the question mark symbol, whatever the value we give it in a key value pair is nothing but a query string. Okay, so this is the query string. So immediately, if we are seeing a question mark and then immediately if we have a key value pair, so this is nothing but a query string. Okay, so whenever we have this, we have to understand that we are working with a query string parameter because soon after the question mark, we are specifying a key value pair here. Okay, then next tell me at least now, what is this representing? What is this URL representing? If it's wrong, also no issues. Okay, I just want an interactive session, or else I will also get sleep. You will also get sleep. Correct? Because it's just a 7:30. Hmm. What is this URL contains? It's a hmm. What is this? It's a protocol. Okay. So then, after the protocol, what has to be present?
Domain name.
Domain name. Okay. So, is it domain name is available here for the third URL? No. Then is it possible to launch the application?
Yes, that is also the address of domain. What we call it? Which address we call 170?
Mm-hmm.
I just forgot it. But
Okay.
yes, it's just a translator of the address. When we say
Okay.
google.com,
Mm-hmm.
google.com will also have some server address for it.
IP address.
Yeah, exactly. IP address with the port number.
Yeah. See how it is working is, guys. Okay. See what are the things I'm discussing now. So these are all the interview question. You may get this kind of question in the multiple choices. Okay, if you are attending the API testing interview, so this is how they make you confused. Okay, so as per the definition, we know that we should have a protocol, we should have a domain name, and we should have the square resource path and query string like this and all we know. Okay, so what they will do, what they will do, they will make you confused by giving like this. So by looking into this, you already learned that without the domain name it's not possible to access the application. So here by looking into this, you will feel that yes, while discussing the syntax, we have learned that without the domain name it's not possible to access. But here domain name is not there, so it's not possible to launch the application. So you will choose that this is not possible to launch the application answer you will choose. But what's happening here is, see, every application, okay, every domain name has its own unique address, nothing but IP address. Okay, for each and every application, for example, if you take a Facebook, for Facebook also we have a unique IP address. If you take a WhatsApp, for WhatsApp also we have a unique IP address. So those IP addresses, meant for the particular application. So by using that IP address also, instead of a domain name, because it will be this IP address will be appended with this domain name. Okay, we can use domain name or IP address. Okay, so because with the help of the domain name, we are able to identify the particular application. In the similar way, since this is a unique address we have for each and every application, so we are able to access the application with by specifying the unique address, that is IP address. This IP address is unique for each and every application. It's like your home number. Okay. See, for example, for your house and all, you have a house name. Okay. Some house name you will be giving, right? And also you will be having a house number. That house number is meant for your house only. If I specify your house number, your house has to, your house has to display, it's not display any other house, right? In similar way, here also we can specify the house name or else a house number. Here also we can specify the application name. Domain name is nothing but application name, right? Say facebook.com, whatsapp.com, twitter.com, and linkedin.com. So whatever the .coms means, applications names comes, that is only domain name. Okay. So instead of that domain name, you can also specify IP address of the particular domain or particular application in order to access that application. Okay. So this is all the basic information. See, this is all very basic information, but we missed to answer that, right? So this is how it works. Okay. So basically, web URL part, what are all the interview question they may ask, that and all I have covered here. Within this slide only, I covered everything. Okay. So one thing is, what is web URL they may ask you. So what is web URL? So you can tell like web is, web uniform resource location. The definition of the URL is uniform resource location, which uniquely identify the web resources inside the application. So what is the web resources if they ask you? Okay. So let's take this is an application. Inside the application, we will be having a different features or different modules or different resources. Okay, so this is a different features is nothing but this is the features. Okay, home, about, contact, services. This is all the features. So that is the functionality testing terminology. Okay, so that only this different features only we are calling as a different resources. So in order to identify the specific web resources inside the web application, we require the web URL, because in this application we have a multiple features, means multiple resource. This is one resource, this is one resource, this is one resource, this is one resource. If I want to access contact resource, so what I will do, I will start my URL like first I will start with the protocol. So let's take HTTPS. Then immediately I need to specify domain name. Domain name is harsh.com. HARSH.com. Okay. Then I will specify the resource path, which resource I want to access. I want to access the contact. In that list, I want to access the contact. I'm accessing the contact here. Okay, that's it. This URL content, that's it. What happens when I enter this URL in the browser? It will first come to the ash.com application, then the control will go to the contact resource and it will work with the contact. Okay, so this is the you need to identify the specific web resource inside the web application. Yes, it is going inside the web application, it is identifying uniquely the particular specified resource here. Okay, so what is web URL? And just explain this definition and full form of the web URL. The next part, how much of character the web URL can accept. Okay, maximum of 200 character. And then next thing is syntax of the web URL. They may ask you. Okay, so you just provide the syntax. Then yeah, like this, they will just make you confused. What is query string? They will ask you. And what is resource path? They will ask you. And what is domain name? And what is path parameter? Okay, and they will confuse you with the domain name and IP address. I don't want to access my application by providing the name of the application. So what are the other ways to access the application? This is how they make you confusion. Okay, I don't want to access the application by providing the name of the application. I want to access the application by providing some other way I have to access it. So what is the best way to access the application if I don't want to provide the name of the application in the URL? So what's your answer? What's your answer?
IP address.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, IP address. Okay, yes, we can access the application by using the IP address because each and every web application has its own IP address. So if we don't want to specify the name of the application, yes, we can go with the IP address of the application. Okay, so this is what all the things that I need to cover as part of the web URL. Okay, clear? Clear with this web URL? Any doubt? Okay. 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 So this is just a general example. I think hope you have clear with the information with the web URL only, but still I have created some general example to make you understand. Okay, I just taken a general example in the sense real time whatever we are using. So with the help of that, let me explain something here on the web URL. Okay, see this is a street. Okay, consider this is a street. Inside a street, we have a multiple apartments. Apartment 1, apartment 2, apartment 3, apartment 4, and so on. Okay. And this apartment is also having its unique apartment number. That is 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4. Okay. So inside the street, we have a multiple apartments. This apartment is also having a apartment number. Okay, so inside the apartment also we have a flats. We have a multiple flats. So flat 1, flat 2, here flat 1, flat 2, flat 3. Okay, so on. Inside the flats we have a person 1, person 2, person 3. Here we have a person 1 and person 2, and here we have a person 1, person 2, person 3, and person 4. Okay, and so on. Okay, so now I want to get the information of the person 2 here, who is present in the flat number 2 and who is available in the apartment 1 to 1. Okay, so how do I write the address for them? How do I write the address for this? First, I want to reach to the street. Okay, first I will reach to the street. Then I will specify the apartment name. Okay, which is acting as a domain name here. Then I will come to the resource. This is the flat 2, and inside that we are providing some information that I need to access the P2 person. Okay, so how it is traversing? First it is going to the street, then it is going to the apartment, then it is going to the flat, then it is grabbing the information of the particular person. Okay. So now I don't want to make use of a apartment name here. I don't want to make use of a apartment name. How do I access the particular apartment then? Hmm?
By using ID.
Yeah, okay. By using the apartment ID. Okay. So if I don't want to see apartment ID is specific for the particular apartment, right? So by using the apartment ID, we will be entering the particular apartment. Then we are taking information of the particular person. Okay. So in similar way, here also, as I explained before, if we don't want to make use of a name of the application, we just refer in the IP address of the application to grab the information to work with a particular resource. Okay, so this is what I written here. Okay.
Where will we get the ID exactly?
ID, while implementing only, we will be having that. Okay. So in your case, maybe your dev will provide that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Or else, the Facebook, you're launching facebook.com, right? So Facebook IP address we will be getting, okay? We can get the Facebook IP address. Okay, if you Google it, you will get the Facebook IP address, okay? So instead of launching https:/facebook.com, launch it with the IP address and check whether it is launching or not. Okay, so this is just a task for you. Okay, so instead of in the browser providing the domain name of the application while opening the particular application, provide its IP address and try to launch the application and then check whether it is launching or not. Okay, yeah. So then next, okay, now the thing is you have to understand something that, see, you are entering URL here. Okay, see, this is the URL. This we are entering here. Okay, so when we are entering the URL, okay, whenever we are entering the URL, so what's happening in the browser? Okay, in this browser, whenever we are entering the URL, internally browser is creating the two addresses. Okay, two address it will create. So what is the two address it will create? See, internally browser is going to create with that URL request two address. One is to, one is from address. Okay. In the to address, it contains all the information that we are sending. So like, what is the, if you take a general example, what is the path, what is the street name, what is the apartment, what is the flat number, what is the resource name, everything, every information has to go in the to address. Okay, like, what is the application name, what is the resource we need to access, and what is the query parameter they specified. Okay, all those information has to go with the to resource. In the from, after, see here what happens, see, we are given a street name, apartment name, flat number, resource name, okay, whether it is a P1 person or P2 person or P3 person, and everything, whatever the information we are giving in the URL is going as part of the to. So after it is going to the particular resource, means once after reaching the particular resource, means maybe P2 person, okay, so once the service goes here, so it will going to the P2 person here. Okay, see for example here. Okay, so whenever we are giving this address, it is going to the flat 2 and it is pointing to the P2 person. After pointing to the P2 person, we get some information like his name and his contact number. We get the response back. Okay, so that response information has to be a part of the from. Okay, So this, which means that in technically, if I want to speak, so this is the request part. In the request, all the information that we were given in the URL will be available. So after going to the particular, resource, so we will get back the response from the server. That is as the part of the from. Okay, as part of the response, we are receiving the name and contact number of the particular person or particular resource. Okay, so browser internally divides the to and from information. Okay, so whenever we are entering, see, we will not get to know, right? See, whenever we are entering here, we will not get to know browser is doing something here. We will simply enter the URL here, but internally browser will also be doing something by having that URL. It will immediately create a to and from, to and from space it will create. And in the to, whatever the information you are passing, everything it will pass to the server. And server will also respond back immediately, right? That it will be capturing. Okay. So all this activity browser will be doing in the backend. Okay. So this is okay. So all this information, all this activity, the browser will be doing in the backend. Okay. So this is how internally it works with respect to the browser. Okay. Yeah. Any doubt? Any doubt here? Tomorrow we'll see. Okay. So what is this port number? What happens if we install the application in the same port number? Or is it a valid or the invalid? Because these are all the interview questions. Okay. Whatever the things I'm discussing as a basic thing, all the interview questions. Okay. So what is port number? What is the what it is doing with respect to the application? What happens if two application is installed in the same port number? Okay, then what is query string, and also what is multiple protocols available. Okay, different protocols available. So by covering all those things, then we'll jump to the JSON language. Okay, then we'll jump to the JSON language. There is nothing but JavaScript object notation. So how to define the JSON object, how to define the JSON array, how to define the complex data, how to define the simple data, how to understand the syntax. Okay, all those things we'll be discussing in the further sessions. Okay, any issues with respect to this? Any issues?
Uh, so I have a question that so there are many tools used in the industry right now, like I mean, one manual postman or SOAP UI for REST, I think, right? And Swagger is one of the tool, I guess, right? So there are two types of APIs, right? Web APIs, right? One is SOAP and one is REST. So do we do we cover the both, or I mean differences and all the stuff?
So there's a two types of APIs. What you said? REST APIs and
SOAP.
okay. No, SOAP and SOAP we are not working. Okay, we're completely working with the REST APIs. Okay. See, SOAP UI and all already a legacy way of validating, right? So we are not covering that. So nowadays, REST APIs is only the demand and the market. Okay. Because whenever you're working with a SOAP, again you have to go with the XML language. Okay. So, but here nowadays, JSON is a trending, right? Because JSON has, it solved the issue that we were facing in the previous languages like XML, HTML. The processing of the data will be a more when we go with the XML and HTML, all those things. Okay. But the JSON is providing us the quick response. So everyone are adopting the JSON only. And also here also we are following and we are working with the REST APIs, not a SOAP. Okay, SOAP testing will not be done in this. Completely with the REST services only. In automation also, by using a REST assured, we will be performing automation on the REST APIs.
And for rest assured, which ID we will going to use? Eclipse only.
Yes, Eclipse we are using.
Okay.
This is the REST assured. Okay. So for this, we will be using the Eclipse ID.
Harshil, I have one query.
Okay.
Are we going to cover database connectivity and operations interconnected with database queries in our course content?
Database, connectivity we have not done yet, because in order to do that we should have a particular URL which has to be connected with the database also, right? That we'll see. Okay, we can demonstrate that, but I can give a guide you with the coding level. But
Mhm.
since we should have a particular API that should be supported for the both the DB as well as CSI. So we'll see. Okay, we can demonstrate that. I will just check with that, or else I will just give you the guidance on the coding part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, I have one query.
Yeah.
The completion of this course, how many years I can showcase in my resume? Actually,
You
I'm a
can
manual.
keep it. Yeah, you can keep any years. See, whatever the things we are covering here, till the framework we are doing. If you are okay, manual, how many years of experience you have?
6.
Okay, 6 years. Okay. No problem. Okay. So even though you have a 6 and all, so here we are starting from the scratch and we are going with the framework implementation. Okay. If you have to tell them that you have worked for a 3 years in this or 4 years in this, no problem. You can use it. Means you can keep it like you have worked 4 years in this or 3 years in this, because everything is covered. Basics also be covered and also advanced part also be covered. If you want to keep this is you are comfortable in this, how much you are familiar with this and how much you're comfortable to keep and how much you're comfortable to answer, you can keep and just go with this.
Okay, and nowadays calls are very less for testers, right? How are the calls for rest assured and API?
Yeah, nowadays calls are less, but if you know the API testing and if you know the Selenium as well, so yes, this is where it comes to the picture. Okay, I mean to say, see, if you look at the Naukri, all the organization, wants the candidates to be have a knowledge on the service testing or the API testing. Okay, so if you just go and just check the JD of the each and every organization, they will ask you like, do you have a knowledge on the API testing using a Postman or using the REST assured? Okay, some knowledge they want on the API testing because it's an high and demand, and the candidate who is having only Selenium also they're not accepting. They wants the candidate to be have a knowledge on Selenium as well as the API testing as well as a functional. Okay, so this is also now anyhow calls are very less, but they have, but they're grabbing the they're just filtering out the candidate who is having a multiple knowledge. I mean to say who is having the end-to-end knowledge. When it comes to the Selenium, okay, that candidate will cover the front-end testing. When it comes to the back-end, is that candidate, if they knows the API testing, they will cover the back-end also. So if whenever they're interacting with the candidates, if one candidate know only Selenium, if other candidate know both the Selenium and API testing, obviously they go with that candidate only. Okay, but knowing about the API testing is very important nowadays because it's an high and demand in the market, and each and every organization wants someone candidate to be have a knowledge on this. So if you have a less call means you just update a Naukri saying you have a knowledge on the Postman, you have a knowledge on the API testing like that, and then see you will at least a little bit it will increase. Okay, you'll start getting the calls. Okay, only by the functionality testing, only by the Selenium testing. Nowadays, it's very odd because they want candidates to be have a knowledge on service testing as well. Okay.
Yeah. In Naukri also, when we see search for JD, they're asking completely full stack like front end testing, Selenium
Yes,
and
yes, yeah,
API rest
yeah.
assured, database testing.
Yes, Rohan, you are correct. That is, I agree with that. Okay, the market is like that only now. Okay, and also
Yeah.
believe me, Selenium, this rest assured, this API testing is very easy than the Selenium. I feel. Okay, maybe starting you just have to concentrate on a little programming. I mean to say Java, whole Java part is enough for this. If you concentrate on that, it is very easy than the Selenium. Okay, if you understand the basic things in this, it's very, very easy than the Selenium. Okay, in Selenium, XPath will get changed, that will change again. You have to go, you have to update, you have to work with the dynamic XPath, all those things. It's very headache, right? But here, it's very easy than the Selenium, I feel. Okay, that you should also feel, right? So once you have to start learning, you will also start feeling it. Okay,
Knowledge and
yeah.
Selenium. Yeah, I have basic knowledge and writing experts.
Mm-hmm.
Always. Yeah,
What, Rohan?
much. I have knowledge and Selenium too,
Hmm.
but I
Okay.
don't super knowledge.
So do
You
we
have.
cover different type of authentication authorization? Like in Postman, we have got different type of authorizations, like basic auth
Mm-hmm.
or bearer token we are using, right, to authenticate
Mm-hmm.
the API, right? So are we covering a little bit of the concept that what exactly are these or what how it is used?
Yes, yes, not a little bit. Everything we will be covering. Okay. So, we have a different types of authentication here. Okay. So we can work with all this authentication we'll be covering. Okay. In the rest assured also, we are going with the hot two. While we are implementing the framework, we are going with the hot two authentication. Okay. See guys, basically what are all the things you require in order to work with the organization level, I mean to say in the real time, those are all the things, most of the concepts has been covered. If you have this knowledge to adopt some other knowledge, which is, coming newly is also no issues. I'm damn sure you guys will start adopting it. If any new concepts are coming with the rest assured or with the API, means you can easily adopt it if you have this basic knowledge. Okay. Duration will be, see they are given, no? A duration of the will be 45 days. Okay. Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and how many days it will take to complete the course?
Yeah, we planned it for the 45 days. Okay. In Saturday, Sunday, usually I won't take. Okay. But if I am also free, if you guys also free, and if you guys also interest to connect on the weekends, then only we'll be having some time. Okay. Apart from that, just a weekday session from starting from Monday to Friday. Then weekends, it's like, if I am also free, if you guys also free, if you are also interested, if I am also interested, okay, let's connect. Okay, then connect. Okay, or else there will be no session on the weekends. So excluding weekends, it's like a 45 days. Okay, yeah. Okay, guys. Then if you have any queries, means you just contact the management if you want to take any confirmation before enrolling. Just if you want to connect with me, you just call the management and they will connect with me. Okay. Yeah. If any queries, means you can ask me now because I have one more class immediately now. So
Uh,
anything else?
so like in
Mm-hmm.
Selenium, just the last question. Like in Selenium, there are different type of I think frameworks. Like I think hybrid is there, or there are different
Mm-hmm.
TTD. We are using test-driven framework, I guess. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So here also in rest assured there are many frameworks, or there is only one framework which will be used across the industry right now.
Yeah, yeah.
What
One
is that trend?
framework. Yeah, one framework only. Akshay, we have a many approach of framework, right? We have a cucumber approach, we have a test ng approach, we have all those approach we have, right? So, not like that. So in Selenium also the same way only, okay? If you want to, combine all the framework and make it as a hybrid, then we can do with the hybrid. Or if you want to go with the cucumber approach, we also have a one approach like that, right? So here also we can adopt any one approach. So here, we are making use of a TestNG framework to implement this, and with the help of that, we'll see. Okay, just a Cucumber framework and all. I will just give you the idea at the end of the session. Okay, after completing entire course, Cucumber framework, how we can change this particular framework to the Cucumber approach. Like that, I will just give you the idea. Okay, as Cucumber is trending now. That part I will give you the idea later. Okay.
Okay.
Do you cover CoreJava classes?
Mm-hmm. Yes. What, Rohan? Yes,
Do you
Rohan.
cover
You're
CoreJava
telling.
classes?
Yes,
Pojo.
obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah, without the Pojo, yes, I will be covering the Pojo. See, guys, I think, they have sent you some meeting link, right? In that, they may have, attached content of the course. Okay, go through that complete course. Okay, see, Pojo class and all, see, that is a very, very important concepts. Without that covering those concepts, it's not possible to jump to the framework only. Okay, because in the organization and all, ultimately you are working with the pojos only, not with the normal classes, regular methods and all. Okay, so you have to adopt the pojo approach of writing the framework. Okay, so pojo and all is a very important concept that will be covered. You do not need to worry about that. Okay, complex pojos, simple pojo, everything will be covered. Okay, so better once you go through the complete content, they have uploaded in the website as well, or else they have sent you some link, right? So in that also they have uploaded, or else they will, they may call you guys. Okay, they may call you for the feedback or to just ask you about the course and all. By the time you just ask them, send the course detail, they will send you. Okay, or else they have sent you the meeting link, right? In that down they have attached the course content, goes to the course content once. Okay.
In this API testing, we will cover the Cucumber also.
Cucumber will not be covered, but I'm telling just for you guys, last at the end of the course, I will just give you the idea of it. Okay, how the Cucumber framework, we can implement, we convert this to a that. How can we do the migration of this framework to that framework? Like that, I will just give the idea. Because if I include the Cucumber means again it will extend some more days. Okay, so that is the different course that is. Cucumber itself is different course. Okay. So I will give you the complete idea of it at the end of the course. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Ma'am, I want to ask one thing.
Uh-huh.
After instead, apart from this session, one more batch is going for the API testing of UNA.
Yes.
So, what is that time?
No, it's 8 to 9.
8 to 9. So, what topic is going? Means my concern is, can I also join that batch and this batch? Can I attend
Uh-huh.
multiple? Because I have some idea about API testing.
Uh-huh.
So, if
Okay.
you can permit, then I can attend that one and this one.
So in that we already started with the Rashtra show. So is that fine for you, Anand?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Okay.
will you give permission to attend that one and this one also, so that I can get some experience?
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Okay, you just pass your number, Anand. Okay, I will just pass it to the management and let them to contact you and assist with that. Okay.
Okay, and how many days already happened to start it off 8 to 9 a.m. batch?
That is what postman is completely completed for them. So now we are with the rest assured.
And
This
after
automation
that,
part.
okay,
Mm.
and rest assured how many days it will go, and
Rest assured, 20% of concept has completed already in that.
okay, so will you give permission to attend that one also, so that I want to join that one also?
That's what Anand, you just give the contact number. I will just give it to the management. They will just decide it what they can do with this, and then they will assist you. Okay, you
Okay,
just pass
sure,
the
sure.
contact number in the chat.
Yes, ma'am.
Just pass
Sure, I
it to
will.
me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, guys? Okay.
Like, hello,
Yes.
how many days it will take to come back in market, right? Like for testers, nowadays there are no calls for manual and
Yes, yes, yeah. At least wait till April completes, okay? Because right in the US market is completely down, okay? So for that reason, this is how happening. But if you really have a good, technical skills, means you don't need to worry, okay? So it will be, within some months, it will all will hand. But by the time you be ready with the Selenium API, okay, complete end to end, you just be ready with that. Don't need to worry about that. Okay. Seriously, if you have a skill, no need to worry. If you don't have means, at least take this time to take this time to learn on the skills. Okay. Once the market is up, just start grabbing the opportunity. That's it. Okay. Okay, guys. Then
Hello.
yes, yes, yes.
Ma'am, I
Yeah,
have
I
given
have
the
one
number in the
query.
chat.
Yes, I have taken. Yeah,
I
I
have
have
given the
taken
number in
another.
the chat. And ma'am, one thing I want to ask, like any Selenium new batch, are you planning to start on weekdays batch?
Weekdays. Okay.
Yes.
Weekend we have planned. Okay. Weekend we have planned, Anand. Oh, you are not comfortable with the weekend?
Yes, ma'am. Weekend, my busy. My schedule is busy, so
Mm-hmm.
weekdays is okay for me.
Okay, okay. Okay, we'll let you know on it, okay? We'll let you know about the weekend batch. Oh, sorry, weekdays batch, okay?
Yeah, yeah, sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Do you
And please
teach
allow
Selenium?
me. Mhm.
Mm, mm. Yes,
Yes, ma'am. So please allow me on the 8 to 7 to 8 and 8 to 9 so that I can go with both the batches for completion course.
okay, okay. Anand. Yeah, I'll just speak with them. We'll see, okay, what management will decide, okay?
Yes, ma'am. And the same course content will be there in the 8 to 9 batch now.
Yes, yes, yeah, for everyone same. Till know whatever the batch we are done, for everyone same content, same course. It
Okay.
will not change batch to batch, right? Okay.
Okay. Ma'am, any karate concept will you also cover?
No, no, dear. Yeah, karate will not be included.
Okay, okay. Okay,
Yeah,
sure,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, yes.
We have a JSON format, no?
Hmm?
JSON format
Yes, JSON format.
in JavaScript is both are same or different?
Hmm. JSON is much easier than JavaScript.
Sorry.
JSON is much easier than the JavaScript. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I will tell you. Okay. While we are covering that part, you will understand that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's okay. I'm late for 15 minutes for another session. Okay. We'll connect again tomorrow.